take the next course in your life, ensure that you are happy. This is what can make you live long. When you are happy, everything is good for you. To our father CG, sir, as Kenya Principals, we are your children. And there's a new father. You're going to be proud as a father when your children, when your family is happy. Wherever you walk, you will be very, very happy. So we request that for us to be happy and for you to be happy, you give us three things. You ensure that we are well fed, we are growth, and we have a good shelter. In order for you to say, my children are good and they can be admired by other family members. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Wycliffe, for those remarks. And I now take the pleasure to welcome the representative of the regional commanders, all regional commanders, who will be represented by the regional commander Nyanza, CGP Patrick Nyachi. Welcome, sir.
Our Principal Secretary, Dr. Salome Biako, our Chief guest today, Brigadier Retired John Warioba, who is the immediate former Commissioner General of Prisons, and your family. Our Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Patrick Arandu, Secretary Parks, Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons Administration, and the Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons Technical Services, Directors of Prisons, regional prisons commanders, our development partners invited here, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick Isaboke Nyachi, Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Regional Prisons Commander, Nyanza, hereby representing regional prisons commanders from the 8 regions of our great Republic of Kenya. Allow me, our chief guest and the Principal Secretary, to present a message of farewell from our regional prisons commanders who are present here today. Regional prisons Commissioner General of Prisons, now retired. The appointment of Brigadier Retired John K. Warioba, the Office of Commissioner General of Prisons, in November 2021, has led to this momentous occasion. We have gathered here a precious time to reflect and share on a journey our Commissioner General of Prisons, retired now, walked us through as Kenya Prisons Service. For over 2 years, he served at the helm of Kenya Prison Service, taking care of the men and the women in uniform, both officers and our clients. Those who tested his leadership are here to give testimony of what they experienced, appreciated, and emulate as they live on to serve humanity. I have the pleasure to share what the regional prisons commanders, each assigned to specific regions within the region, within the country, executing duties on behalf of the Commissioner General of Prisons, on how far he held their hands as they executed their duties. Cognizant of the fact that the Office of the Commissioner General of Prisons, as an occupant, I have the pleasure to congratulate Mr. Patrick Mwiti Arandu, the Commissioner General of Prisons, following his appointment by His Excellency the President, his swearing in and assumption into office. The regional commanders hereby promise to support you as you execute your mandate of Commissioner General of Prisons. The regional prisons commanders have the following to share in favor of Brigadier Retired John K. Warioba. Sir, you will be remembered as the Commissioner General of Prisons who made a great impact within the short period you served in Kenya Prisons Service. For one, your tenure led to feelings of confidence among officers and led to stability in the department. There was a boost in morale and a focus to a bright future which led to improved performance overall. A sense of fairness was experienced in regard to handling diverse matters in the department. The regional commanders had their space in handling matters pertaining to their respective areas of jurisdiction and consulted only when the need to do so demanded. You are always available and accessible to offer guidance. You ensured qualified officers deserving promotions were given the opportunity to compete for their available vacancies. They were considered on merit with the objective of addressing stagnation. This installed hope amongst officers of all cadres. Staff are now motivated, discipline is improved, and the inspiration to work diligently is noticeable. You provided strong leadership and guidance while being firm and fair with good listening skills, worth emulating. You wisely addressed issues brought to your attention after doing thorough investigation. Your loyalty to the government of the Republic of Kenya was unequivocal. Your resilience was indeed admirable and worthy emulating. You pursued the harmonization of ranks to officers to be at par with their other security formations, hence introduction of the ranks of Commissioner of Prisons and Assistant Superintendent of Prisons. This cannot be left unmentioned. You touched the hearts of many officers by showing them how to be compassionate in times of unfortunate eventualities. To be precise, showing empathy to officers by visiting the sick officers and our clients, comforting bereaved families and those who encountered loss through different calamities. Your commitment to family values was inspired. Your commitment to family values inspired both junior and senior officers in their numbers. Wherever and whenever you visited our institutions, you emphasized the need for officers to take good care of their families. You advised them to make an impact of their promotions by loving and providing for their families even more. You addressed the issues of stores accountants to staff. The smooth transition between you and the incumbent was historic, and this signifies the true source of authority, that authority comes from God, the Almighty. As I conclude, sir, receive warm regards from all the regional commanders, Kenya Prison Service, who are present here. We bonded well as correctional officers, despite having come from the military. That is, despite you having come from a background of military. We bonded well, we as Kenya Prison Service officers, and in particular regional prisons commanders, with you as the Commissioner General of Prisons. You laid a firm foundation which we believe your successor, Commissioner General of Prisons, Patrick Mwitri Arandu, will take a notch higher. Asante kwa kutuongoza kwa usawa. I cannot forget to appreciate your family, which we believe must have supported you during your service to humanity, we Kenya Prison Service being part of that humanity. We wish you all of the best in your future endeavors, full of warmth and happiness as you continue being a great leader. The regional commanders and officers who serve under them said, we will miss you, sir. God bless you. God bless us all. Thank you, sir. We wish you well. May God bless you and all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Regional Commander Nyanza, for those remarks. And I just want to make an announcement that we are live on YouTube, on the portal of State Department of Correctional Services. And so the link is shared and we can be able to follow. But I also want to take this opportunity to welcome the representative of all the directors at the prison's headquarters, and they will be represented by the Director of Prison Enterprises, Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Peter Njoroge. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Our Principal Secretary, State Department for Correctional Services, our Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Patrick Arandu, our outgoing Commissioner General, Brigadier Retired John Warioba. Our chief guest allow me to ride on the already established protocols. My name is Peter Njoroge, and on behalf of the directors, I wish to put through some few wishes that they would have wished that our retired Commissioner General you hear. Again, on my own behalf, I tend to think that in the recent future, I've not really heard of people who retire twice. And you are one example. And I also believe that very soon you will be retiring again. Because that is a very big feat that we have seen from you, sir. We are filled with inspiration going by how we stayed with you, sir. You made us a team. You brought us together. You opened your doors for us, and we really felt at ease in your presence. Our chief guest, we may not want to speak so much because we can also become emotional, because you were not only a leader to us, you were also a friend to us, to a point whereby you could always call us, even at the middle of the night, to tell us that you are thinking about us. Thank you very much for being with us. Looking back at your amazing career, your greatest accomplishment within a very short time, the encouragement and wisdom that you have given us has been a true inspiration that have made us as a team wish to achieve more and more. The family of our retired brigadier, we also want to thank you so much for allowing this great gentleman to be amongst us. And he really came, he saw, and he conquered. And now he is going home with his head high, knowing that the impact that he had on his people will live long even after he is not with us. As you exit, sir, the team is grateful for your effort, experiences, and commitment, which elevated our Kenya Prison Service to a higher level. We do not wish to forget that even in your retirement, you have continued making calls to us, just wanting to know how we are faring, and more so importantly, with our families. Our prayer is that as you scale the next level of your life, that God guides you and takes your hand. As our Bishop-elect said, you have been a blessing to many people and you continue to bless them. To our beloved Commissioner General, Mr. Arado, we love you and we will continue to love you and we will continue to support you, because we do not have any other business other than to support you and to make sure that as a team we achieve the highest height. We know that we have been a force to reckon. Neighboring countries from near and far have been coming to benchmark with us. That is no mean achievement. We thank God for giving you to us, and we will continue visiting you in Nakuru, in Nairobi, and in Mohurube. We will still be coming. So you have not seen enough of us. You will continue seeing us. God bless you, and God bless Kenya Prison Service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director, Prison Enterprises, on behalf of the rest of the directors. Guest of honor, sir, Madam PS and CGP, allow me now to invite the Commandant Prison Staff Training College, Senior Assistant Commissioner of Prisons, Mr. Angus Masoro, to make his remarks. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Moses. Our honored guest this afternoon, Brigadier Retired John Warioba, former Commissioner General of Prisons, our distinguished guest headed by the PS State Department of Correctional Services, our Commissioner General, our valued partners, visitors, colleagues, officers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I stand here on behalf of myself, the institution I still lead, Prison Staff Training College, and my colleagues, also directors and friends of the Kenya Prison Service, to give our gratitude, our honest gratitude for the services we have received with the leadership of this great person we celebrate today. I was honored to receive Brigadier Warioba when he just joined the service. It came in with a little turmoil, but we all know the committee issue, and I happened to join you on your first trip to committee. Thereafter, after some stint in headquarters, I was moved to college. And in college, you helped the department shine in the end of 2022, where you spearheaded a distinguished and still remembered pass out by all services, and ideally the Kenya Prison Service. It was the first passing out parade for the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. It was the first for his CS then, the first for his peers. It was your first passing out parade for the Kenya Prison Service, and surely my first as the Commandant Prison Staff College. And yet it has gone on record as being the most colorful and most well arranged. There were moments of tension, you very well know, but you kept your head still, and we consulted widely, and we gave it the best we can. Thank you so much for that, sir. Also along in the college, we, the Prisons Department, have benefited mostly in your lectures, and the men and women out here are no stranger to the topic leadership and command. Leadership and command is what makes a service move. Leadership and a command is what makes a department, any organization, stand for what it stands for. The business it was supposed to do and the business it intends to do. And I'm sure those lectures will be missed. We have enumerated some of them to be part of our training notes in all levels of courses in Prison Staff Training College. And I'm sure we'll be able to mention it with your name if you do allow, sir. In every time you've had a moment to speak, we always remember the humor that you bring up, and I'm sure today, sir, should you speak, don't keep us waiting too long for that. There's the humor that will come up, and of course, a biblical reference, which is most appropriate and helps us live along this world of a lot of stress and strain. We will never have resources to meet all what we need, but the practical leadership skills you present give us hope to go on. And I'm sure the partners who you have interacted with have picked some of these skills for the benefit of their organizations and the populations they meet. As you ended your service, it ends on a high note. The staff are full of praise of you. And I'm sure it was a brief 3 years, but it's a moment that we will live with, and we will appreciate every moment we can. For the sacrifice you gave, you and your family and your community, it is not easy in that top office, but we appreciate that you gave that commitment and so wholeheartedly that it has an impact to not only us, the serving officers, but our families and friends who we interact with. I'm sure that on you handing over the baton to the Commissioner General, Mr. Arandu, and the leadership of the Kenya Prison Service with the 2 Deputy Commissioners General, headed by our Principal Secretary, we will be able to attempt to go in those footsteps. And I'm sure we will fondly remember and keep focused. At this time, Brigadier Warioba, retired, we wish you and your family God's blessings. God be the light in front of you, as you've always believed in that and made us be believers of the same. We wish you God's blessing and kind regards to your family wherever you'll be settling. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Commandant, sir. I now take this opportunity to welcome the Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Technical Services, Madam Jane Kiri, to carry on with the program from this juncture. Welcome, Madam.
Thank you, Moses. I am not here to make a speech at this juncture. I would like to invite our stakeholders, not in any order, just to come and say something about our former Commissioner General, not in any order.
Our chief guest, Brigadier General Retired, John K. Warioba, our PS, Madam Biako, our Commissioner General, incoming, Mr. Patrick Arandu, senior officers of government departments of the Kenya Prison Service, my colleagues from the partners, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I feel honored to stand here this afternoon in this occasion, which for us is an occasion to celebrate a huge achievement. I am Robert Omita from the International Committee of the Red Cross. I'm the Prison System Advisor for the ICRC. The colleagues from the KPS who know I'm also a former Commissioner of Prisons in the Uganda Prison Service. Whenever there is a transition in leadership that is as organized as this, there is always the belief and the hope that there is continuity, that there will be growth, and that there will be progress. In our work with ICRC, with the KPS, we noted that in several of our activities, the Commissioner General actually assigned Mr. Patrick Arandu to be the lead person. And when we heard of this change, we realized that, okay, there has been a process, there has been a preparation, it's all well organized. We congratulate you, Patrick, for your new assignment. It's not a small assignment, a very big one. But I know that the head of state knows that you are equal to the task. At ICRC, we have appreciated greatly the amiable and focused nature of our chief guest today. Straight to the point, very, very focused. He knows where he wants the service to go. He really practiced the open door policy of the KPS and allowed us to interact with the staff, with the prison units across the country whenever we requested. We have achieved a lot together, and I believe that with the smooth transition that has been there, we shall continue to work with the KPS and a lot more will be achieved. I know we are several stakeholders around, so I will not take a lot of time, but I conclude by passing to you best regards from our head of delegation of the Nairobi Regional Delegation ICRC, Mr. Daniel O'Malley. He apologized for being unable to come, but he wishes you the best. We believe that change makers never retire. And even when we say you are retiring, you are not tired. And therefore, the community of humanity still need you, and we believe that we shall still meet and work in different endeavors, as our paths will definitely cross again. Wish you God's blessings. Wish God's blessing to your family, who I believe have been very generous to Kenya, to allow you time and to give you support to serve. And I'm sure they are happy that they might have a little bit more time with you. God's blessings to you, and thank you very much for listening.
Good afternoon, friends. I'm not very organized, but today I wrote something because I know our commissioner is very organized, so I'm going to read. I think this is my first speech ever to read. Dear retired Brigadier John Warioba, it takes only a special and extraordinary person to retire twice from two different and very, very key state departments. And you have been that for us. As you step into this well-earned retirement from KPS, words can hardly capture the immense respect I hold for you, sir. You joined KPS at a time of crisis when the prisons department was in dire need of leadership and transformation. And you have left that profound transformation in the KPS, and we shall not forget your legacy. As partners, those who are here and not here, we thank you for helping us achieve our mandates by coming into prisons, coming into your office anytime we needed your support. 24th of July remains a bit of a day we don't want to remember sometimes, because that's when we heard unexpectedly that you are leaving. But we have accepted that because such is life. As you step out into the world, touch other lives out there as you touched us at the prison service. And we wish you all the joy, fulfillment, peace that you greatly deserve. That was a speech, but I'll say a few words. I'm not sure how to call, I can't call him John. I'm not sure what to call him, because I find it extremely hard to say John. I'm still calling him CG. In fact, even yesterday I called him and I said, CG, how do I stop calling you CG? I'm going to struggle to do that, but I'm speaking as Jane from FARAJA that you are a man I respect so much and I love so much, because you have proven to us that being up there does not mean you don't hear people down here. CG, I have told you I have gone to many prisons in this country. And last year I went to Wajir. I think I also went to Lodwar. And the people there said, we can never be able to meet our CG, but if you see him, say hello to him. There's one man I remember from Lodwar. He's called Samuel Jagi. Samuel told me, I wish one day I can hold that man's hand and say what he has done for me. Because he told me he was a CP for 25 years, but in your tenure, he's now a senior sergeant. I also met another one in Mandera. By the grace of God, the last 2 years, FARAJA has served the marginalized prisons. So the last 2 years, I have been able to go to Mandera. The RC, I think, Northeastern is here. This year, is it this year or last year? We went to Wajir, we went to Mandera, we went to Lodwar, not Lodwar, the other one is which one? Garissa is not marginalized. And all these prisons, they were wishing they could meet you. Madam PS, I still wish we do another party. I hope it's going to be planned because I interact with junior officers very much and they want to honor the CG. So even if it means we have to contribute, Madam Jane, we need to plan, is it Madam Susan? Because the junior officers are very few here and what people say, our CG was a CG of the juniors. I'm not sure what that means, but for the first time, without any fear of contradiction, the junior officers of Kenya Prison Service felt remembered. Am I speaking for them? Yes. And I'm saying this being a reservist. The CG calls me reservist. Reservist is because sometimes I want to go to prisons, I don't have a vehicle, I'll go to his office, and I tell him, CG, I need to go to Maranjao, Nasina Gari, and he gives me a vehicle. So in that, to some extent, I'm a prisons officer, only I don't have uniform. And all these prisons that I have been, they are wondering how can they have a party. But because I may also weep like somebody mentioned, because sometimes saying goodbye is quite difficult, I told the CG that we are going to be friends, because I know we are friends now. You may have left the government, but I consider you as a friend, despite an older friend a bit. And today I was coming, I don't dress like this, but I felt like I was coming for a party, and I said I'm going to have a party to enjoy and celebrate a man who has left a legacy, not only in Kenya prisons, but in the government. Mr. Warioba has left a legacy that we can never wish away. We cannot forget him. I know I won't. And God bless you very much. As you step into the other world, we shall visit you, probably in Nakuru, and also honor you. And thank you very much for having been with us. And today you should not be in a hurry at all, because we have a lot of wine and drinks and make merry. I hope there's also music, Jane, so that we dance and enjoy ourselves. It's not every day you honor a brigadier retired and a commissioner general retired. But today is the day the Lord has made. Patrick, I know you are my friend. I'm sorry to call you like that. Sometimes I don't know how to be official. We have worked closely for many years, since you are the OIC in Nyeri. So karibu sana. I am not sure, you struggle a bit to fit into the shoes of a brigadier. But like I told you, we are there as partners to support you where we can, because we are all interested in the success of KPS, and where he has left, especially junior officers, wapatia mamlaka kidogo, those who deserve, please do so, and we shall support you right at the back. Thank you very much. Asanteni.
Thank you. The chief guest today, Commissioner, this is where we need to remember former. Mr. Warioba, the PS, and our CGP, all colleagues, friends, good afternoon. Good afternoon once more. I think we've been sitting too long. Maybe just wave, we see we are together. Yes, we are fine. It's very hard to come after Jane and add anything, because she has very well articulated a lot of the things that we agree with. And today is a very special day as we celebrate former CGP, because I remember when he assumed office after Mr. Wycliffe. And I think we all remember the situation at that point. And then we all observed as Mr. Warioba was settling in office, he was going for meetings. And the thing about Bwana CGP former is he always has this serious face. And every photo he was showing such a serious stern guy. And we were like, what? Is this the gentleman we are going to work with it or itakuwa aje? And we gave him time to settle, and then of course we went to see him. And let me say, we met a very, very amazing gentleman. He was very humble. He gave us a listening ear. He had many ideas to share with us as partners. He was really what we did not expect. The thing about CG, even when he's making a joke, he's not smiling. You guys are there smiling, dying off your chairs, but he's like continuing with his joke. But he has that face. But I think that's also the face that you need when you're working in different sectors. One of the things I remember he told us is, hey Damaris, haukuniambia jela iko na ukoo. Nimekuja nikapata ukoo huku, sasa lazima nijue vile nitafanya kazi. And I remember also during our very first meetings, he told us how he had read the CAP 90 cover to cover on his day one when he was appointed at the CG, and the BI Act, and all the gaps he had identified that he wanted to be able to streamline in the new laws that are coming in. So he came, he had clarity of mind, he knew this is a big task that I've been given, but we all know he was equal to the task because he was coming from the military. And even if the systems were not necessarily like the military, he tried to really professionalize and streamline systems. And I think that's what has been said about issues to do with promotions, issues to do with the staff progression and all that. So on behalf of ourselves from the Royal Wallenberg, we know also that when you assumed office after a crisis, it would have also been very easy to tell partners, you guys stay away, you're the ones, as it can happen. People sort of get knee-jerk reactions when crises happen. But because he had the clarity that he needed, he continued welcoming us to work together. And I think for us partners, we're always very in an interesting position because we've seen different commissioner generals and even PSs, and we always appreciate when we are able to continue to work together with whoever is in the office. So at this point, I think being an extraordinary man or the difference maybe between an ordinary and an extraordinary man is perhaps the little extra we put in our daily steps, we put in our daily work. That's how we're able to move from being just an ordinary person to being an extraordinary man. So we honor you today. As you kick away tension and say karibu pension, we really wish you the best. May you have peace. May you enjoy your retirement now for real. We don't know if it's going to be for real, or maybe the president has another, appointment that he's preparing for you. However the ride goes, we really wish you the best, that you continue enjoying a good health, a happy family life like you've always encouraged people when we meet, and may you continue to serve God and humanity in whichever aspect that you land next. For Mr. CGP, the new sheriff in town, we really look forward also to work with you. You know the system, so we'll be looking forward to seeing how we continue to support the prison service in its endeavors to meet its mission and vision. Thank you very much, and Pati Yanze. Thank you.
Our distinguished guest, Madam Principal Secretary, Commissioner General, friends, colleagues, partners, it's a great honour to be here today to witness the second retirement of the outgoing Commissioner General, John Warioba. There's several people who have mentioned today about inspirational leadership, and it's very hard to achieve that. To achieve inspirational leadership, you need to understand people, you need to be able to read people, circumstances, and to give your message clearly. And that inspires the people who work for us. And over the last couple of years, I've witnessed that since coming to Kenya. I've seen the inspirational leadership that this great man has given amongst our colleagues. As a prison officer myself, I understand the challenges that we all have. And it's similar back in the UK as what it is here in Kenya. We have very significant challenges, and we need that inspirational leadership to take us through those. those difficult times and to celebrate the successes that we have. It's been a real honour and privilege for me representing the British High Commission to work alongside Kenya Prison Service. And today we celebrate a great man with a long military career who has also taken up the mantle and came into the prison service and made such significant changes which will last for a long time to come. The retired Commissioner General has often said, Andy, you're a man of few words. And he always makes sure I say a few. So I'll keep this very short and sweet. But what I do say is from the heart. And what I do say is that we recognise the significant, long-lasting achievements and we celebrate your retirement and we wish you a long and happy retirement and good health for you and your family. God bless you.
Our hosts, retired Brigadier Warioba, and all distinguished guests, good evening. Yeah, here from Tree of Life, we are humbled to be part of this celebration today, honoring you, sir, for the support you have given unto us while engaging with the prison department when we really needed that support. I remember one specific scenario when there was the scare of the protest, and you really went out of your way to ensure that we continued implementing seamlessly, and we really felt humbled about that. And the many other times that we have engaged together, and we have had a flawless engagement with the prison department. From the Tree of Life, we are honored to have been part of this journey. Thank you for setting the pace. So we are sure that whatever you have set is going to really inform how we still continue engaging with these institutions. So we are really humbled. And also thank you to the entire correctional department for having us on board as partners, embracing us, and we really feel at home here at the prisons and in the entire department. Thank you.
Before I call upon the DCGP admin, we will have a poem by Juma.
All protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Hamjambo tena. Mgeukie mwenzako mwambie godha tena. I go by the name Juma Idi Juma, by the way. I'm a Koplo, by the way. Thank you so much. So happy for being here. Juma Idi Juma ni kijana mtanashati. Anayekwenda na wakati. Mafuta ya sharubati na kasi yake ya Bugatti. Chini nikitia buti na juu nitatinga suti. Na nikimuona wa retired brigadier lazima nitasaluti. Hamjambo! Shairi langu ni refu kwa hiyo nitaimba. Makinikeni nami hadi tama watamati. Leo niko hapa kwa ajili ya kumpatia our retired brigadier maua yake mapema na kumsifu mapema. Ile kazi aliweza kuifanya kumsifia kabisa yani. Leo natoa kila kitu hapa. Tuko tayari kunisikiza? Asanteni. By the way, mnaweza chukua selfie ndio kumbukumbu, si ndio? Ya wale wa macho matatu tafadhali watoe. Nitaanza. Habari na hamjambo, yani good afternoon, na wasalimu kimombo, everybody hawayuni, wageni kutoka ng'ambo, mjini simko nyumbani, heri ya kusitaafu, sote tunakutakia. tangu ushike hatamu mengi yamebadilika, umefanya ya umuhimu haswa kwenye madaraka. Wengi wanatabasamu, kamwe hautosaulika. Twambie sanamu lako Baba, tulichonge wapi?
Wanted to storm into the building. So I stood there and I ensured no one would go, after the CG already had taken his lift up. So we waited there, and within a short period, then he came down with others. And you remember that time we were wearing face masks. And, in the year 2016 when we met, I was not wearing glasses. But he's the one who recognized me. And I was like, who could this slender, tall guy be who is recognizing me, yet I cannot be able to recognize him? So, and I was like, he did like this, and oh, it's you, Brigadier, karibu sir. So, because I had not known the name of the new CG, since things happened so fast. Then, I fast forward in the year 2022 while as the regional prisons commander in Nyeri, or rather Central Region. I remember, and I think every place that you are taken to, there is always a purpose. Most of us were not used to promotions when, for instance, you're considering long services. And most of the OICs submitted names to me as the regional commander based on what they felt they needed to recommend. And as we were working on those names and all that, I decided to verify with our registry. I want the nominal roll for every station, looking at the length of service, maybe performance, and things like that. And I don't know, as I was doing that, he calls me. And then the CG tells me I have a problem with the two OICs, and they have to move immediately. I appealed to the CG and I told them, sir, kindly as the RC, allow me deal with these two OICs. He told me once you are done, they have to move. I told him, yes, allow me complete these interviews. And once we are done, then I can say proceed. After we were done with the interviews, I called him back. I told him I have handled all the issues that were there, and I'm appealing to you as our CG. Kindly allow me continue working with these two OICs. I can confirm here today, the CG never moved those two OICs until I moved from the region. He is one person who would call us, particularly when he wanted to move around OICs, and I think the RCs can confirm that. And it's not just any other commissioner who would call his regional commanders to ask, for instance, can I move so-and-so from your region? I want to appoint him to another, position in another region. That is him. That is the kind of a leader who he is, who consults, who values the people he has positioned in various positions, whether regardless of the level. And we appreciate that our former CG, because we realize that you recognize the kind of work that we do, and you trusted us. And anytime we gave you reports on our regions, our directorates, you would believe. And you always trusted us with the responsibilities and assignments. I think the last assignment you gave me is when you sent me to Uganda. And this is, I think, what Robert was alluding to. I was the only one who was not a commissioner general out of 13 countries, correct? So for whatever reason that you felt I needed to sit with other generals, thankfully, here I am today. I want to say this one thing which has been talked about by many of my colleagues here. One thing about leadership is being predictable, that the Arandu you knew yesterday is the same Arandu today, and it's the same Arandu you expect to see tomorrow. That's who our general was. He was fair, he was firm, he was committed, and he transformed, particularly matters human resource, staff welfare, and the general working conditions of the prison officers. We would not have asked for anything better than what you have been able to achieve for the 3 years indeed you have worked in this service. Many of us have learned in a very special way, in a very different way. PS, yourself, and some of us have been to PACs, that is parliamentary yeah, still remains PACs. You don't have to say it for everyone. Responding to audit queries coming from stations. And Madam PS and the former CG, because I was the Director Planning and Development, he never threw his officers under the bus. And you understand, when you are before the Parliament and these are issues that touches on the integrity of the officers, he and the PS stood their ground to ensure our officers remained protected. It's not easy, because probably were it anyone else, after that, someone before PACs, definitely the first thing would have been a transfer and, of course, being given lesser assignment and responsibility. You would talk to those officers, guide them, and ensure that such things are never repeated. And we are grateful for, some of us who happen to work closely to that office. There are things we could observe. And I realized the more you go up, the humble you become. You don't just use the power and authority that you have for the wrong things. You use that power to lift others. And this is what has been talked about. He really made sure that he lifted so many families, so many souls. Some people had given up in life that they would never be promoted. He did promote them. And those who had already maybe sunk into other things because of desperation, they turned out to be very, very reliable, committed, and dignified officers, the way they continued to work after they received those promotions. My prayer is that we'll continue doing the same, encouraging others, because I know the moment you want to bring people down, you'll go down with them. We'll always seek to lift others. We'll always seek to provide a stepping stone for others to move to higher responsibilities and be able to, not only serve, but also support their families through empowerment in matters resources, because the moment you get a promotion, the moment you're given good working environment, the moment you are trusted, the moment you are commended, you always feel very, very good. I want to conclude and say that Brigadier retired Warioba, we always use that Brigadier retired. We are forgetting that you have also retired. Many have talked about having retired as the CG. But this is another opportunity that God has given you. You came, you saw, you conquered, and this is a gift that is not given to many, and I know all of us can attest to that. It's not just any other person, any other day. You get such an honor of being appointed twice to those, apex positions, and you retire honorably. It's never easy. These positions are sometimes very, very competitive, and there are those who feel that you need to bring each other down so that you can move there. But I want to say that God has been favorable to you. God has been kind to you. He has given you that opportunity not only to serve KPS, you have been a gallant officer in this republic. Some of us who know what you did while in KDF, which you cannot talk about publicly, can say you are indeed a hero. We appreciate you as Kenya Prison Service, and as I speak on behalf of the entire Kenya Prison Service. We appreciate what you have done. We'll keep in touch. We'll keep consulting you when we need some advices here and there, and we'll also remain a friend of Kenya Prison Service. That one, we assure you, anytime you require any kind of support, we'll readily be there to support you. And when I say this because of all other levels, they will be there to support you. So we wish you God's blessings, God's favor, good health, long life, even as you transition to this new level. And I hope you'll also keep us in prayers as we bring our teams together to, move KPS to another level, working with my colleagues, working with our peers, working with our sister department, PACs. Will ensure that the State Department will scale greater heights of achievement in many other fields. Your family, we appreciate you. Thank you for accompanying Brigadier to come and be with us. Thank you for honoring this invitation. With those many remarks, ladies and gentlemen, before we invite Brigadier, just put your hands together as I bring to us the Principal Secretary, State Department for Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Biako. Karibuni na makofi.
I actually have two speeches, and I've been trying to debate in my mind to go easy or to go formal. But because I'm addressing a hero, I will do both. I will first address all of you with my formal speech, and then I do side remarks. Today's guest of honor, Brigadier retired twice, John K. Warioba, former Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Patrick Arandu, Commissioner General of Prisons, Dr. Christine Obondi, Secretary, Probation and Aftercare, Deputy Commissioner Generals of Prisons, Directors of Prison Headquarters, Regional Prison Commanders, staff from the State Department, invited our very close stakeholders, invited guests and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with great joy and a deep sense of satisfaction that I preside over this ceremony where we have convened to officially bid farewell to the former Commissioner General of Prisons, Brigadier retired John K. Warioba. You will all agree with me that the Brigadier has diligently served Kenya Prison Service and our country. Therefore, this farewell function is a sign of appreciation to him for concluding the tough, challenging, and at times thankless and heartbreaking years of public service. I want to acknowledge with gratitude your selfless contribution to the service to the nation. To have served the country and retire successfully, not once, but twice, is no mean feat. We all know you started service in the military when you were many, but some of your colleagues fell by the wayside. It is for this reason that we who are still in the public service look to you with admiration and gratitude for a job well done. It takes a lot of discipline, dedication, loyalty, and hard work to be where you are today. We thank you most sincerely for being exemplary. Therefore, after many years of strenuous public service, you are now relieved from compulsory strains of honor and dignity. And it is for this reason that the men and women still in uniform look up to you with admiration and gratitude for a job well done. Consider this celebration as a collective token of appreciation for a great journey of your achievements and reflection on the extraordinary privilege of serving our country and the world. As former public servant, you leave the service not retiring but not tired of doing public good. I therefore call upon you to always see yourself as a good emissary of Kenya Prison Service and never allow anything to blemish the integrity, wisdom, and courage you have nurtured over the years in this great disciplinary institution. I strongly believe that going by your antecedents and the manner you have conducted yourself over the years in service and the skill and knowledge acquired, you will surely remain our mirror and ambassador wherever you will be. As for the new post-service challenges that await you, I have no doubt that the tough challenges you have experienced during your tour of duty are adequate to prepare you for greater challenges ahead and to nurture you to build a strong foundation for your new chapter in life. I am glad to have worked with you, and I say this from the bottom of my heart. I have sincerely appreciated working with you. Through you, I was able to quickly learn about the State Department for Correctional Services and the critical role the department plays in the criminal justice system and the security architecture of our great country. Having listened to some of your former colleagues who have spoken before me and looking around the room, I see faces indicating that there is not a life in this room and in the whole department in general that you have not touched. And each one of the members in the room is a better person because you passed by. Ladies and gentlemen, in a special way, allow me to welcome and extend great appreciation to commissioners' family members who have kept at your side through thick and thin. To accomplish military duties and later prison duties requires amazing, loving, and supportive families with a tremendous amount of faith, love, mercy, endurance, and grace. The presence of your family members have made this occasion even more special. I therefore request them to continue rendering you the necessary support as you start your new life. For those of us who are still in service, you may forget the brigadier, but you cannot forget the great lessons and the footprints he has left behind. Key among them is timekeeping. For the period I have worked with him, he never came to a meeting late. In his own words, he used to say, time and planning are very key to accomplishing assignments. 2, meritocracy. Everybody here present will agree with me that meritocracy was the basis of all promotions during his tenure. This has greatly motivated our officers. 3rd, he always underscored the importance of family values as a support base for service delivery. Like the preacher he was, he always reminded husbands to love their wives and to take care of their families, while the wives submit to their husbands. 4th, preparedness. Like a good student of General Kianga, the brigadier left nothing to chance when it came to planning. His mantra was, if you don't inspect, you do not expect. As you go home for the second retirement, I challenge you to think of a private-public partnership you can do with our State Department. In our recent public engagement with our stakeholders, the JLAC representative challenged us to have the PPP in building private prisons. I hope, Brigadier, having visited Morocco, you will take up the challenge and build a penitentiary. And we assure you we shall name it Brigadier Retired Warioba Medium or Maximum Prison. As I conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you, Brigadier, happiness, long life, success, great health in all your future endeavors. I trust that the nation shall have the privilege to access your wisdom and experience as we continue a journey towards a better quality life for all Kenyans. It is particularly exciting to us that you're retiring with your head held high. Dignity will always follow you. Please accept my best wishes for your personal happiness and success. May God continue to give you all the joy and peace in this new life. I thank all of you. And now to my side chat. When I was appointed as Principal Secretary, my letter came on 31st of May 2023. One of the first persons who came to my former office in the private sector was Brigadier John Warioba. And I was amazed by this man fully clothed in this great attire coming to see me full uniform. And like I said, I was amazed by his military precision. It was my first time in my whole entire life to interact with a former military man. Usually I just interact with the lawyers, judges, and all, and clients of a variety. But he always kept time. He was always precise. He knew his craft at the tip of his fingers. And I was so impressed. And at the same time, I must say, I was very anxious because I was thinking, to be a principal secretary in charge of a state department and in charge of a technical unit where he is the Commissioner General is very frightening. How will I cope? He knew everything, everything to the last detail. He was precise. And I must say, I was compelled to learn very fast. And I wish to thank you, Commissioner. You pushed me to know what the docket entails and to know it very fast. I cannot thank you enough. And the other things I have learned in these last 12 months when we have worked together, which gave me a lot of joy and a lot of sense of privilege and appreciation of His Excellency appointing me to this State Department, was your sense of enthusiasm for your work. I loved it. I loved it. In those 12 months, we have visited 58 prisons. Now we have visited a few more after you left. But 58 prisons in such a short time, we went along the breadth and length of the whole country. And you took it in your stride. It was a great honor, and I sincerely appreciate it. And of course, in all those visits that we carried out in all those prisons, I enjoyed your sense of humor. Like Damaris there says, you would crack a joke out of the blues and all of us burst out laughing. And it was always very refreshing. I liked your sense of fairness, that you were fair to the junior officers, because ordinarily, as leaders, we tend to forget those who are far below us, and we do not accord them the honor and the respect that they deserve. You led the way. You showed us by giving them promotions, by talking to them like a father when we would visit them, by encouraging them to go for rehabilitation if they had many challenges, whether they be of mental challenges or alcohol or financial challenges. You encourage them to exercise prudent fiscal management. Again and again and again, you acted like a father to them. I am quite sure, like Jane says, they will never forget that. Because Maya Angelou says, people may forget what you have done. They may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. I must say, retired commissioner, you have left that they have appreciated the effort you have made to recognize them and your ability to quickly understand directives. From where I stand, I get very many directives from my CS, and sometimes from His Excellency the President. And when I would communicate the same to you, you did not hesitate. With military precision, you executed it. Where I wasn't clear, I would ask you to tell me what happens here. You would explain with clarity. And I must say, I appreciated your intellect. I am sure I will never forget that. You always knew what to do in every circumstances. And that is what made us work very well. Obviously, we didn't always agree, but because of your level of maturity and seniority and experience, you understood we can agree to disagree and still work pulling in the same direction. And for that reason, I was very happy and overjoyed that we set out on a mission to create a legacy, and we were able to pull in the same direction in that legacy. I assure you, Commissioner, I will carry through, God helping me and working with the new Commissioner General. We will carry on that journey of transforming this State Department to be the most prestigious service in Africa. I am committed to that. And because I know that is what you would have desired for us, we will carry it through. And of course, I have learned many lessons having worked with you these last 12 months, that we all need to strive to work well for the common good. Because who is a leader? A leader is a person who is able to take care of those he has been put in charge of, not to lord it over them, not to order them about, not to make their life miserable, but to be able to take care of those they have been put under. I learned a lot from the Brigadier, and his ability to know to the last corner who the OIC is and what they are doing was always an inspiration to me. I liked his sense of purpose, his sense of integrity, his sense of clarity of thought and direction. That is something I will always appreciate. And of course, I did appreciate the fact that he was visionary, because that is what a leader ought to be, a visionary thinker. Because they say, as a man thinketh, so he is. He thought and he had great dreams for this State Department, and in particular for Kenya Prison Service. I am aware that he found it, when he came into this space, there were issues that needed to be resolved. He took it in stride and started doing those reforms. And I must say, I have ridden on the back of his success, where the officers now can say, we are truly Kenya Prison Service officers, and we are proud to be so. That is amazing. That is amazing. And I'm hoping, working together with the new Commissioner General, we will be able to take it to the next level, and the next level, and the next level. Let this be a service where people only see prestige, where they only see professionalism, where they only see commitment and dedication and a sense of belonging. Brigadier, we assure you, we are equal to the task. We shall carry on. Your shoes are very large. It will be very difficult to fill them, but I'm quite certain the new Commissioner General, working with his deputy commissioners, we shall work together and try to match what you did and get to the next level. For sure, we will reap great fruits, and you will be proud of us. Our strength will be renewed like the eagle, and we will ask you to come again and again and give us words of advice and walk with us. Do not go away completely. Keep coming back. It is our great desire that you walk with us in this journey of transforming the State Department to be a center of excellence. I wish you all the best, Commissioner General. And with those few remarks, I humbly request that we all be upstanding And clap for our outgoing Commissioner General. Let's clap for him as he comes to address us. Welcome, Commissioner.
Now, kindly let us be seated. Now, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Correctional Services, Dr. Salome Biaku, and your spouse, the CGP, Mr. Patrick Karandu, Secretary Parks, Dr. Christine, the two DCGPs, Nicholas and Jane, the regional commanders, all OICs present here, all of us from Correctional Services Department, that is Parks and Prisons, and from the headquarters. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, of course, without forgetting our partners. I want to start by probably introducing this table that has been referred to us indifferently. So it is only fair that I make a clarity as to who they are. There were four, but one has disappeared, or what is the problem? Now, let me, of course, start with the lady. It is only fair that I start with the lady. This lady is called Anne Mwangi. She's a long-time family friend. And the gentleman is called Johnson Gasheru. They are siblings. So this one weeps the other one. He sends them around to collect firewood in the village. If you live the village life, kindly be seated. I don't know where the other gentleman has gone. Is he coming back? He's traveled. Okay. Now that other gentleman, if you meet him in the street and you can remember his face, he's called Major War. He's a retired army officer. I worked with him in Somali, but after that he came back and retired. I don't know whether it was out of cowardice, based on what he saw in Somali, or he felt that he had had enough of military life. He's now in the mainstream civil service. He works in the Ministry of Interior, actually. He's the one who facilitated our onboarding on 222. So his office is under the State Department for, is it called Citizen Affairs? That is where he works. And finally, this gentleman here, this is a long-time friend of mine of 47 years. We met in Machakos, then the Greater Machakos district. Those days they were called, kindly be seated. It's called Kennedy Rawinji. When we went there in search of knowledge from the Greater South Nyanza, that is when we met. He was my classmate for 4 years. In between we split when he went doing electrical engineering and I went doing mechanical engineering. We have remained in contact. He's in this city. He didn't want to work long for the government, so he decided to take leave and do his own business in this city. So if you have any work to do with electricals, you can always get in touch with him. He's a village mate of the CS Finance. I think we should send him to the CS Finance to sort out most of our problems that we have. And the best way is probably to lock him up for a day at the Nairobi remand. So when the CS visits him, you will see the condition of the Nairobi remand, he will find us very favorably, so that it can be comfortable. When I was invited for this function, I was not told that I would come and make a speech. But somehow my wife told me to write something to come and read. You know, my wife is a HR officer. She would have been here, but we had a funeral back in the village. But since that is where I'm rejoining upon retirement, I send her there to represent me because that is a very important segment in our life. You cannot fail to recognize her even if you meet her in the street. We have lived long enough together for nearly 3 decades. So we look alike. So if you walk in the streets of Nakuru and you see a lady that looks like me, that is my wife. She's not my sister. Because all my sisters are married and they are married in Tanzania, so there's no way out that they would be in Kenya at that time. So that is my wife. Just call her Mrs. Brigadier or Mrs. Commissioner. Any of the two will do. So that is why she was not able to be with me here this afternoon, as much as I would have wished to be with her. or for her to be with you. So I had a very short speech that I came with here to read for you as I bid you farewell and rejoin my people in the village or in Nakuru. The village I come from is Murubei. It's a village that you cannot fail to trace on the map of Kenya. We come right at the border of Kenya and Tanzania, at the foot of the lake. I come from that notorious location called Migingo. You must have heard a lot of talk about Migingo. We had issues with Uganda. The island actually is in Kenya. It's only that the people who inhabit Migingo go and fish in Uganda. So that is where the problem is. So sisi ndio wachokozi. So ladies and gentlemen, as I stand here before you today, I am filled with a mixture of emotions. Today marks the end of an important chapter in my life while serving in the Kenya Prison Service as the Commissioner General of Prisons. I am both excited for the future and nostalgic about the past. I want to take this opportunity to sincerely express my gratitude to each and every one of you for the period we worked together in the State Department for Correctional Services. I also want to greatly appreciate our valuable partners who have continued to work together with us as Kenya Prison Service in the journey of rehabilitating offenders. Your support, guidance, and friendship were invaluable to me. I am deeply thankful for the experience we shared together over the period I was the Commissioner General of Prisons. As I move on to the next chapter of my life in retirement, my second retirement that is, because while I served in the military, I retired and stayed out there for 1.5 years. So I was fished out of that 1.5 years retirement to become the Commissioner General of Prisons. So I'm taking my second retirement. I carry with me lessons learned and the relationship built over the period I have served in the Kenya Prison Service. While farewells are often bittersweet, I am hopeful and excited about what the future holds for the Kenya Prison Service with the ongoing reforms. Please keep in touch. I would love to hear from all of you and continue to share our journeys, even if they take us in different directions. Thanks you once again for everything. I wish all of you continued success, happiness, and fulfillment in your endeavors. May God bless all of you abundantly together with your families. So retirement is not something that should shock anybody. Retirement has always been there. Even if you read the Bible, if you read the Old Testament, the book of Numbers, chapter 8, verse 23 to 26, that is where retirement is much talked about. And it was referring to the Israelites and to a tribe of the Israelites called the Levites. The Levites were the tribe in Israel that were meant to produce the priests. Most of the priests in the Israelites came from the tribe of the Levites. So in that book, it says that retirement, Israelites would start working from the age of 25 to the age of 50. So upon attaining the age of 50, they would retire. They were required to retire at that age because of what they were expected to be doing while serving between 25 and 50 years. Because of the long journeys that they were making across the deserts while carrying the tabernacle. And this required people who are strong, lean and strong. That is what the Bible says. People who are lean and strong to be able to carry the tabernacle. So if you became over 50 years, then you'd be assigned some other duties to do. So retirement is not new. This is not new, so don't get shocked with it. And you continue reading the Bible. The Bible tells that there are 4 pillars in retirement. And one very great pillar in retirement is the family. That is what the Bible says. And if you don't have one, then you better start preparing to get one. Because it will be a requirement in your retirement. And I've always been telling these prison officers, the most important unit in retirement is the family, because these are the people that will accept you back once you retire. They don't have a choice, because as with your wife, you are told that until death do your part. Nothing else can separate you. So the family is a very important pillar. The Bible talks about it in retirement. The second most important pillar is health, good health. I'm happy I've retired of good health. I've not given Dr. Wanza much problems every now and then. At my age, I think I'm good to go. Then the purpose, what is it that you are going to engage yourself while in retirement? That is what the Bible is telling you, is asking you to think about. Then, of course, finances. Do not think that finances are not important when you are in retirement. You need them because you are becoming old, you are becoming aged now, your body is getting now less, the immunity is growing kidogo. So you require finances to maintain yourself. Finances to enable you to feed well. So retirement is a very good thing. It's a very good thing, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been in there. I came to this place and very interestingly, I was interviewed in one day and sworn in the same day, and I became the CG the same day. I remember it was on 17th when Matiang'i called me. I was doing my own things in Nakuru. I didn't know that was Matiang'i. I just asked me, yes, Fred, what can I do for you? You know, when you retire, you get to forget so many things. He told me, this is Fred Matiang'i here. Where are you? I told him, I'm in Nakuru. Yes, Fred, what can I do for you? I called him Fred. You know, he was a CS, and I called him Fred because I had retired. So he called me over here. Then when I went to his office, I found a team that I thought had committed a serious crime because I found the Attorney General there. Then there was PS Interior then, Karanja Kibicho, PS Correctional Services Zainabu, and there was Kiara. Kiara was the Principal Administrative Secretary then. I found a team of these very tough 5 gentlemen. For 1 minute, we could not talk to each other because nobody knew how to break this silence. But I was not worried because I knew I had not committed anything. I was still lived with the secret oath that I had signed. I convinced myself that I was innocent before this tribunal. Then Matiang'i broke the news that he asked me whether I knew any of those fellas. I told him, at least I know you and I know Karaja Kibichu, but I do not know the others. And of course I knew the AG, but I didn't know the other two. They introduced themselves. Then for some time we kept quiet again. Then they told me, now we are looking for somebody to be appointed Commissioner General of Prison. Would you be interested? That was the first question that broke the iceberg, now the ice. I told him, now, Waziri, you see, if the president wants to appoint you, it will be bad manners on my part to turn him down. That was my answer. So from there, now the interview picked up. They told me to go out for some time. I was ushered in another small room there as they deliberated now on what to do with me. Was served with some good tea, given newspapers read. Then after about 1 hour, then now the Waziri came and picked me up. And he took me to his office and he told me, now, we have settled on you and you'll be sworn in today at 3. I told him, it is not possible, Waziri, I'm in a suit and this is a uniformed job. He told me, don't worry, we'll have a uniform. Then within 15 minutes, then the then commandant PSTC, Wanini Karini, came in with a tailor, Musyoki. It's called Sergeant Musyoki. I promoted him to senior sergeant. So they fitted me, then they were rushed to Wilson here. They were lifted from Wilson to PSTC to stitch the uniform. Then Matiang'i gave him to his PA, it's called a gentleman called Karanja, to take me to Radisson Blue and book me there as they wait for the uniform to be stitched. I convinced them to go and drive my car. I booked myself at Ngong Hills to drive myself. I told them I'm not the CG, so nobody will know that this is a CG. I just drive my car to Radisson Blue. So at exactly 14:30, that is 2:30, the uniform was brought. I fitted, and Karanja reported to the CS. There I was ushered in at the State House, and there I was. The third thing is they did not let me inform my wife that I was going to be the senior most inmate. My wife kept on calling whether I was going back, but I told her, no, my dear, I still have some business to do here. But when we went into the State House, then Matiang'i told me to call her. It would not be fair for her to get it through breaking news. But you know, when you go into the State House, you leave your phone at the receptionist. I tried to borrow a phone from the ADC to the president. I called my wife, she was not picking. So there I was, and that is how I became Commissioner General of Prisons. So, Patrick, one thing that I want to let you know that in this job, the higher you go, the more lonely you become. And I want to believe you have already realized that. That is very normal. The higher you become very lonely. when things are very bad, you find yourself alone, but consult widely. I know you are up to the task, and I just want to wish you well. Commandant complained about lectures. There's no problem. If you feel that I should come and give a lecture, just give me an invitation in good time. I'll come and give a lecture. That is what many countries do to their retired gentlemen and officers. Most of the military, they will, the Indians practice it a lot. They will call them and they will come and give lectures to students. Their past experience. So I would want to come and give lecture to this officer because it's not. This one is very so simple. No, as opposed to the military where it involves war fighting. Generally, soldiering is not a very easy undertaking, ladies and gentlemen, for those ones who have not been in it. And the beauty of it is, I believe, what we go through is like going through hell. And it is for that reason that I believe that we soldiers, if we don't go to hell. Because we have already been to hell by virtue of what we go through in our daily duties. So God will not be fair to take us to hell twice, unless one wants to go to hell by himself. And that is why we always refer to him, Mungu wa majeshi. Have you ever asked yourself why that God is referred to as Mungu wa majeshi? Because for us to go to hell is not very easy. Just go to church and just remain faithful to your God. You already have a ticket to heaven. But you can surrender it if you so want. I mean, if you so wish. So I know a lot has been said, and I do not want to keep you here long, because today is a Friday. Some of you want to travel up country. But I'm happy. I'm happy that for the period we work together, we've done a lot, and we've made very many friends. It's very difficult to make an enemy with me. You will be wasting your time. Because I do not. Because I don't believe in making an enemy of a fellow human being. What for? Each one of us who is on this earth has his own destiny determined by God. A human being can only delay your destiny on earth. So ukiniona natembea hapa unanichukia tu, don't waste your time ukinichukia. That is your destiny. That is how God had planned it to be. It is not Warioba as such. So God had planned that one day I will be the Commissioner General of Prisons. So one of these officers called me the other day, told me that, no, Commissioner, we don't trust you. We might have a third retirement. I told him, no. I think I've had enough. I'm old enough. I'm 62 years. I think in this room is the oldest, my schoolmate. Because if you are above 60 by now, you would have retired. But you are still at work. So it means I'm the second oldest other than him. He convinced me that despite the fact that we were classmates, he was slightly ahead of me by age. So I follow him. At 62, would I wish then to be given another job to do? I think I should be doing consultant services for free. Because the government pays me a pension, a good pension for that matter. So I should give myself now back to our motherland. So let us remain loyal to our motherland. You know, that is where now we get it wrong as citizens of a country. I like the Israelis. Today, if an Israeli was here and hears that there's a problem back in Israel, you will not see him. You will not know how he vanishes. They are so loyal to their country. That is what we require to be like. We have that patriotism. You know, I like sometimes the Tanzanians. You know, Tanzanians are very patriotic. But for us, I think sometimes we seem to be having some kidogo problems. So I heard Jane declaring that today we'll be dancing and whatever merrymaking. Jane, I don't know whether that is the case, but I don't want to restrict anybody who want to merrymaking. Today is your day, but if I leave a bit early, kindly do not take offense. Most of the time I'll be in Nakuru. That is where my family stays. You know, the other day I was joking with the PS Interior that now, by virtue of my experience, because these days they give stipend to village elders, I want to be a village elder in Ngata area where I live. Not that I need some extra money, but you know, to utilize the knowledge that I got from this government. But now that I can't give them for free, so will be giving me some stipend. I think the village elders will be getting about 7,000 per month. They are starting with 2,000. Then I told the PS Motari, Motari is the PS citizen, I mean, is in charge of the old men. So So I wanted him to put me on the payroll of the old man. He told me I still have a few years to go. So I was trying to add up now. If Motari pays me, then PS Interior pays me, then with my pension, surely I will just live like...
Our time, and I'll go direct by calling our chief guest, retired Commissioner General Prison, Mr. Brigadier, to be upstanding to receive the same. And we are requesting that we'll be standing for some time, so you must energize yourself well, sir. And we will start, we have a gift by the PS, that is our PS for the correctional services, Madam Dr. Salome. She'll be assisted by Regional Commander Northeastern Bwana Shaban. Kindly assist the PS, tafadhali. The gift for the PS, tafadhali. Cameraman, tafadhali. Shaban, come, can I see? Yes. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Asante sana. Thank you, Madam PS. Asante sana. We have a gift from our Commissioner, current Commissioner General of Prison, Bwana Patrick Karando. He will be assisted by Officer in Charge Nairobi Remand, if he's around. OC Nairobi Remand, Bwana Koshal. Kuja usaidie mkubwa kupeana bahasha. Kidogo. Give way to Bwana Koshal. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Makofi tena, makofi. Asante sana. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you, sir. We have the third gift from our Secretary Park. That is the aftercare services, Dr. Christine. She'll be assisted by Director Farms, Bwana Patrick Kariri. Kindly, Bwana Patrick Kariri, saidia our Secretary Park, Dr. Christine. Tupige makofi.
Paul Dikando.
Asante sana. Thank you. We have our fourth gift will come from the Commandant and will be assisted by Fivia Ombeva, this CP. Is she around? Kuja raka. Tupige makofi. Madam Fivia, come. Makofi.
Asirona selie na mare na masanga mengi, wasichana warembo watoka kwetu kule Davida. Asirona selie,
tupige makofi tafadhali.
Na masanga mengi, wasichana warembo watoka kwetu kule Davida.
Thank you, sir. We have the fifth gift that will be presented by our DCGPR, that is admin, Bwana Nicholas Maswai, akisaidiwa na Brenda, Madam Belinda Atieno, SP. Where are you? Kindly kuja haraka chap. It's a big gift, it's a very big one. Tutasaidia mkubwa kubeba tukikabidhi. Yeah. Kamera. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Yeah. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you, sir. Our fifth gift itatoka kutoka kwa DCGPT technical, that is Madam Jen, akisaidiwa na Regional Commander Eastern, Bwana Kimanzi. Bwana Kimanzi tafadhali. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Tupige makofi. Asante sana afande kwa kukubali. Yeah. Thank you. Makofi. Asante sana. Thank you. Our sixth gift will be from the committee, organizing committee. This is a stool, inaitwa Jungwa stool ya wazee committee. That is Madam Charity and the Supreme Joroga and the team. Kindly come forward. Hii utakalia nyumbani, saa ile unataka ukamua ng'ombe sasa. Unakalia tu pole. Asante sana. Thank you. Least but not last, the stakeholders, tafadhali, Madam Jane. Thank you, Madam Jane. Tupigie dem makofi tafadhali. Cameraman. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. We have, thank you, karibu sana, ICRC. The team to come, tafadhali. The team, thank you. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Asante sana. I hope any other friend, I hope you are not closing for thank you, karibu. Asante sana. Tupige madam makofi. Asante. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. I think we've not, there's another one down there. Kindly, any other person with a gift, tafadhali, this is the time, kindly. Anybody having the gifts can stand this side so that we are able to see you. Karibu sana, tupigie makofi tafadhali akikuja. Thank you. Asante sana. Karibu sana. Thank you. Asante. Makofi tafadhali. Thank you so much. Thank you. The next one. Asante sana. Makofi. Asante sana. Thank you. Asante. Tupige makofi tafadhali. Thank you so much. Karibu afande. Thank you so much, sir. Makofi kwa Ken Rogers. Asante. Thank you. Any other? Thank you. You can get seated, sir. Thank you for accepting the gift.
Welcome, okay. Before I sit down, there's one group that I forgot to thank very much. This is the team that worked with me in my office, my secretary and the entire team, because they tolerated my bad working manners of coming to the office when people are still asleep. It meant that they wake up very early, the drivers and everybody, to come to the office. The lady who makes tea for me, I know initially she was getting irritated to the amount of food that I eat. But with the time she got used. But I used to tell her, when visitors come, kindly, unaongeza juu, because it will send. Most when the visitors come from the village, they will go back with a very bad notion that the commissioner doesn't want to kulisha watu vizuri. So I want to thank that team, because they came to the office when I was not there, and I would always leave them there. And they had families, but they tolerated my bad working manners. They are good people. God bless them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Tupige mkofi tafadhali. We are going to have a very short kukata keki. Madam Vane, tafadhali.
Thank you so much. Taxi driver, nikongoleshe gari, twende Nakuru, nikamwone kama CGP. Aniambia nikipita hapo, nipige simu ili anipoke. Imeingia? All protocol observed. The cake shall come and join us, but it shall be brought by music. I understand that the band has a nice song. You remember that song? Please take it away as we bring the cake in style. And congregation, audience, please be active participants. Asante sana. Twende.
Special education. Wimbo tuliotunga kwa ajili ya beloved former commissioner.
Ulizigusa kwa upendo, ulisimamia amani na haki bila kubagua. Wakawana shukrani, leo tunapewa kama kumtakia heri njema ya kustaafu magereza. Kwa nguvu za kipekee, njia zako zageuka na kuwa nafasi mpya. Tunakuombea amani na upendo siku zote. Kwa jina la kipekee, njia zako zageuka na kuwa nafasi mpya. Heri njema ya kustaafu magereza. Kwa shujaa wetu, kiongozi wetu, kwa shujaa mfano mwema, kwa shujaa wetu, kiongozi wetu, kwa shujaa umetuonyesha. Na safari yako ulituongoza njia kama kiongozi bora. Wakati wa majaribu na changamoto haukuteteleza, ulisimama kwa ujasiri. Ulizigusa kwa upendo, ulisimamia amani bila kubagua. Tunakuwa kama kumtakia heri njema ya kustaafu magereza. Kwa nguvu za kipekee, njia zako zageuka na kuwa nafasi mpya. Tunakuombea amani na upendo siku zote. Kwa jina la kipekee, njia zako zageuka na kuwa nafasi mpya. Tunakuombea amani na upendo siku zote. Kwa shujaa wetu, mshauri wetu, kwa shujaa njia umetuonyesha. Kwa shujaa
History ya hii keki. Afande, naomba tusiende huko, lakini ninaweza sema ndani ya hii keki kuna mayai. Amen. Ndani ya hii keki kuna unga. Mnasema unga? Ndani ya hii keki kuna sukari. Sema sukari. Na ndani ya hii keki ni upendo mwingi kutoka Lang'ata Women Prison. Sema upendo. Yes. That is all I can say for now, sir. Yes, sir. We are very proud of you and we are happy and we pray that God blesses you in a very, very mighty way. Kindly, sir, take the knife. Asante sana kwa kazi ambayo umefanya. Makofi jamani, asante sana. Have some wonderful stuff from your church share with us for a while.
kata kata hata yangu mwenyewe kata hata kata hata keki kata kata hata yangu mwenyewe kata sherehe tunayo mazuna tunayo nderemo ni shamba na pipi
Thank you. Now we are having the first taste. Please can you keep your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Hey! Shangwe na vigelegele. Jamani, kama umefurahia siku ya leo, naomba usimame tuweze kudansi. Madamesa jamani, nini inaendelea bana? Damarisi jamani. Haya bandi tuendelee jamani. Naweka wimbo ambaye tunaweza songa hii mwili songe kidogo. Nimeomba ya kwamba tusiweke pressure mingi. Sawa sawa.
Commissioner General, Mr. Patrick Arando, two Deputy Commissioner Generals, Secretary Parks, Madam Christine Abondi, colleagues, partners, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm called upon to give a vote of thanks. So let me begin by thanking us all for being here. There's a story that is told in the Bible of a rich man who prepared a feast, and he had invited his friends, and they did not come. And some of them gave you very funny reasons. Some of them said they had bought a piece of land and they were going to see it. And you see, it was an evening meal, so you do not go to watch or to see your land in the evening. You go in the morning so that you can explore the vastness of the land. So likewise, if we had planned this occasion today and any of us refused to come, then it would not have been a resounding success the way it is. So let me thank everyone for coming here today. It is on a Friday. People have got plans, various plans, being a Friday, but you left everything and came to be here with us as we celebrated our former CGP. So we want to thank every one of us for being here today, and we pray that God continues to bless you. The management of this hotel, because they have given us a very conducive environment, and we have been able to enjoy ourselves thoroughly. So let's all thank ourselves for being here, and pray that God gives us journey mercies back home.
Thank you, Madam, for such a wonderful vote of thanks. Just appealing, one of us, Mr. Opondo, had a gift that he would wish to present to the outgoing Commissioner General, and we thought it is only better that we give you that opportunity to give it to him, because I don't think there is any other place he might get an opportunity to give. Mr. Opondo, wherever you are. Mr. Opondo. He could be collecting it. Please, kanini kadogo hapo. He could be collecting it. He has requested to give it. And it's just in order that we give him that opportunity. A small music as we wait for him, please. Thank you. He just arrived. Asante sana. Bwana Opondo, tafadhali. Our retired CGP kindly stand to accept this gift. It was for you. Yeah. Tupige makofi tafadhali. It is the last and not least. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Asante. Thank you. Chief Malim Barnabas, kindly the last prayers, wherever you are. Karibu sana.
Bismillah. Let's pray. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. All praise is to Allah. O Allah, the Lord of all creation, we come before you with gratitude for the dedication and the hard work of our esteemed former Commissioner General of Prisons. We ask you to bless him and his family abundantly, grant them success and fulfillment in their future endeavors, and protect them with your divine guidance and mercy. O Allah, grant our outgoing Commissioner General a new chapter filled with joy, good health and prosperity. May his effort and sacrifices be rewarded with the highest rank in this life and hereafter. We seek your blessings, O Allah, for the Commissioner, for our outgoing Commissioner General's family. May they find happiness, strength, and support in all their endeavors. Guide them, protect them, and keep them steadfast in your path. O Allah, we also ask you to grant us wisdom and unity as we move forward. Let the legacy of service and dedication left by our outgoing General Commissioner inspire us to work together with sincerity and commitment for the betterment of our prisons department. Forgive us our shortcomings and guide us, O Allah, towards righteousness. Grant us the strength to carry forward the values of justice and compassion. We place our trust in you, O Allah, and seek your blessings and peace for our outgoing Commissioner General and his family. Bless our nation, Kenya, our leaders, and give them wisdom, patience, and strength to lead us. O Allah, bless and protect our officers as they carry out their duties. Our Lord, let not our heart deviate from the truth after you have guided us, and grant us mercy from you. Truly, you are the bestower. Our success is not but through you, O Allah. Upon you we have relied, and to you we return. In the name of Allah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our prayers. Amen.
Let's stand for national anthem. Band tafadhali. all.